Alright, guys, we're back for another episode of the Mark Wrestling Podcast. This is Vic from Joe Spotlight here as your opinionated wrestling fan. The first thing I want to talk about is, the monkey in the room, AEW. How they literally blasted into the scene. They tore everything up with their announcements and, of course, pyro. When looking back on those announcements, they look pretty good. Paper-wise with wrestlers, they include Chris Jericho, Bad Influence, or SCU from Ring of Honor, and of course Pac, formerly Neville in World Wrestling Entertainment. It looks really good. AEW. My question now is the production. Who's gonna be in Guerrilla? And that's the one I'm really interested in. We have Billy Gunn being one of the producers, so that should be in good hands. But how about who else is going to be in that prospect? I did read rumors about like Brandy Rhodes is going to be in Stephanie's position, the creative director or something like that. The Bucks are going to be helping out as well as Cody, and they're bringing in the owner of Protease, that t-shirt company, to handle merchandise. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, it still seems small. Where is someone that can handle the business aspect? And I know Tony Khan is gonna handle that, but who will be that person or persons to be in the back with the running the claw camera angles, telling the referees that you just stop that, or they got a few more minutes, give them more. Those are the things they're gonna have to answer. In my Mark opinion, I want Jim Ross to do that. He has plenty of experience, and of course, he's been there and done that. I feel he has a mind of the game, as well as integrity as a wrestling fan and producer. I had thought about Bruce Pritchard, because he's been there with Vince side by side with him since the Attitude Era. And I like the stuff he's done, including the podcast. But I feel Jim would do much more or better job. This is not a slap in the face to Bruce. Bruce is an amazing individual, but I feel with Jim, he's more, let's get things done and let's rock and roll. So AEW, they're going in the right direction, and we'll see the aspects that they will come. They will be the competition to Ring of Honor, and I know Ring of Honor's stepping up their game. They recently signed a bunch of wrestlers and also starting to build a creative team. I think they got a former WWE writer to help out, and he's creating a website or fixing up the website. And sorry about that. Also doing some Ring of Honor aspects as well. And first they should fire Delirious and have that guy run things. For the past 2, 3, 4, even 5 years was Delirious. The stories didn't work. It felt dull. And the ones who had some excellent storylines were not homegrown Ring of Honor wrestlers. You see the Hardys bringing the broken Hardys, bringing it to Ring of Honor. The Balor Club bringing their stories to Ring of Honor. So it wasn't creating Ring of Honor the story wise. It was just a continuation by the wrestlers. So let's see what they can bring for future references. So we'll see what Ring of Honor can bring, but I'm very excited with the things they're trying to do with a whole new batch of wrestlers. As long as they can fix their TV quality in their matches, and of course creative, that's the change that we will really see that will happen. So I'm anticipating that to hopefully Ring of Honor does that for 2019. That's their biggest change. And they should have the money, all the wrestlers left, to AEW or WWE. But they did sign a lot of good ones. And WWE, quite honestly, it's been hard to watch Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. And I do watch in Hulu the edited versions, so I could take it all in. But at times, it's just wow. Just when you think about it. And I'm hoping with the recent push of Finn Balor, they can move Finn Balor back to the Universal title. And I know people get mad like, oh, it's not against Brock. It's the change that WWE needs. I know Seth Rollins is doing an amazing job, but I feel Finn should turn heel, bring the Good Brothers with him, and recreate the Balor Club as heels. They need to be ruthless, rough, and help Finn pin Brock, and Finn with the things going on Raw, that should be a big change. Either he wins the Rumble, goes to WrestleMania, and then pins Brock 1, 2, 3, 3. Of course, with the help of the Good Brothers to make it keep Brock strong. But the part-time era is over. It's damaged WWE more than it's done for good. Like badly damaged. Get the Universal title Finn by WrestleMania. Have him as a heel. Have him feud with Seth Rollins during the year, and it should be epic. It should be epic, but I don't want Braun Strowman to have the Universal title. It's just these big guys are trying to push. It's just not coming out right. It's just not coming out right. If you want to push Braun, maybe for Intercontinental, let him build up from that aspect. But I'd rather see that from that aspect. And Intercontinental Ambrose, man, it just feels a little underwhelming. I like Ambrose a lot. I don't like his new character that he came back. Shaved head, weird looking gear. He was good as a heel or baby, but right now it doesn't feel Ambrose. It doesn't feel him. When I look at him, I think of, well, in TNA he was called Brother Runt, and in the ECW he was called Little Spike Dudley. And from that angle and the way things going with Dean, he reminds me of Little Spike Dudley. So hopefully he could go back to his asylum and get himself better. But man, no, man, it's cringy. So I've been looking at SmackDown, and they're doing alright. Whoever's running SmackDown, which is Road Dogg, it's really good. It's like 3 or 4 stores going on, and I like it. Good pace and good fun. The next store I recommend is Mysterio versus Almas. I think there'll be big money on that. 2 Mexican stars, and it should be a good story from there, and it can culminate to hair versus mask match. I feel that will be epic. So hopefully, Road Dogg, if you're listening, let's try a hair versus mask match with Rey Mysterio Jr. and Andrade Almas Cien. So I was thinking of the call-ups for the NXT. The newest ones are gonna be coming up soon. First one, and I think they're gonna do well. All of them. If they're given the right storyline, the right angle, they can do really well on the main roster. Doesn't matter what they did NXT. First one, Nikki Cross. That girl's nuts. I feel she'll do really well with maybe her reunited with Sanity to bring her back into the picture. Or she could be that crazy Daphne chick that attacks the female wrestlers. So doesn't want to pin that person, just wants to hurt them. And I see that. I like the angle she did with Tommaso Ciampa. Like she was infatuated with him and the NXT title, looking very crazy. That is different, and I hope they could translate that. I'm thinking she's going to SmackDown, so maybe with Daniel Bryan with the world title, she could be the little crazy puppy dog following him around. I don't know, but she has big potential. Lacey Evans, she's decent in the ring. She's really good. I see her more again in SmackDown, doing some good matches. Storyline wise, I want to see her in maybe a couple of matches with Carmella, getting them into it, as well as the Man. Next one is Heavy Machinery. Heavy Machinery is decent. I like the stuff they do. They're a pretty big tag team. I'm thinking they're gonna be on Raw, and that will give a big boost to the tag team division in Raw. A huge boost. So I see them becoming Raw Tag Champs really quickly. I just hope they don't get lost in the shuffle or even breaking apart because both wrestlers are really good. Let's just keep Heavy Machinery together for a while and do some good matches and get some stuff going with maybe the Revival because they can have some good matches. Next one is the one they've been talking about a while. It's Lars Sullivan. He's quite honestly, he's still green. He's not that good of a talker. He can wrestle, but he's limited. Maybe something. I don't see him as being a big man, the challenge. He reminds me more of George Animal Steel with all that body hair and stuff, but a buffed up version. He'll have a good mid card. He could do really well against the likes of Apollo Crews. He'll be good heels for them. As well as Elias, which I don't consider him mid card. This mother should be main eventing many events because he's so over, but to WWE standards, he's his mid card. So I see Lars in mid card heaven. If he can improve himself, maybe get a mouthpiece for him, I feel he would do really well on that. The last one is EC3. Quite honestly, this guy shouldn't have been in NXT. He should have been already in Raw and SmackDown. I want him to be Raw, but I think he's going to be SmackDown. And if he's on SmackDown, this guy should be pushed to the US title against Rusev. This guy's really good. He was released by WWE years ago because he wasn't that good. Went to TNA and killed it. He redefined his character and built an aura around him. And EC3. So, I feel he should be in the heavyweight picture. He should be. I want to see him against AJ. I want to see him against Seth Rollins. I want to see him against everybody. This cat should be world champion. But I know they're going to do it slowly, warm him up to that angle. But that is my opinions for today. Remember, I am the mark. This is what I want wrestling. This is what I think should be because I'm a mark. Oh, everybody have a good evening, and we're off to the next episode. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, it's Sing 2.